have to tell this story because staying silent would mean becoming an accomplice to those girls' silence. This isn't just the story of one village, it's the story of the darkest sins committed behind the mask of faith. I was born in that village. I grew up on that land. And sadly, I witnessed the rise of a demon, crowned as a man of God. My mother died when I was 9. She trembled with fever in the early morning, and then she was gone. My father, drowning in grief and helplessness, one day met someone new in the market, a man who once carried heavy loads, but whose eyes now held a strange light. His name was Samson, but soon everyone would call him Daddy Possibility. One morning, he shouted in the middle of the market, "God spoke to me last night. He told me to lead the way. The waters have dried, souls are dirty, but I have been chosen." At first, people thought he was mad, but then strange things started to happen. A paralyzed man walked, a dried-up well filled overnight. A woman carrying a lifeless baby in her womb gave birth after one of his prayer sessions. People began to whisper, "This man is chosen." That's when the cult was born. They called it Kembo Yamaisha, the Guardians of Life. Daddy Possibility built a great tent. Every Friday night, ceremonies were held. Women lifted their hands to the sky, weeping. Men gave away their land as offerings. Even children placed their toys at the altar. Everything changed in our home, too. My father made us pray every night. If we disobey the man of God, he warned, the devil will enter our home. The whole village went blind. It felt like we were under a spell. But me, I always felt unease deep in my chest, especially when the purification retreats began. Girls aged 13 and 14 were chosen, taken to mountain houses for spiritual cleansing. He said, "Purity must be restored, innocence reclaimed." My cousin Nalia was one of them. At first, she sent letters. She said she was praying, that she felt peace. Then the letters stopped. Her voice vanished. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I snuck out toward the retreat near the forest. In the rustling darkness, I heard a girl crying, and then a whisper. "He wants you to ascend. Don't resist. It's God's will." I ran home, told my father everything. He slapped me. "To question the man of God is the work of the devil," he said. From that night on, nothing was the same. Weeks later, Nalia was found near a forest path, her clothes torn, her body bruised. But the worst part were her eyes, staring into nothingness. She didn't speak. It was as if her soul had left. The only one who helped her was Mama Tembo. The village called her crazy, but she was wise, educated in Nairobi, and had chosen to return and live quietly among us. The adults dismissed her, but we children, we never feared her. One night in Mama Tembo's home, Nalia broke down. She cried and she told everything. Daddy Possibility, under the name Divine Penetration, was systematically raping the girls. He claimed their spiritual ascent could only happen through their physical surrender. Those who resisted were starved, chained, or cast out. Branded as touched by the devil, Mama Timbo began gathering the women, quietly. Many were afraid. But Nalia's story echoed in other girls' silent screams. Evidence was gathered, and finally they reached a trusted journalist from Nairobi. And then the day came. Dozens of women stood before the cult's headquarters. No banners, no shouting, just silence. But that silence was so powerful, even the ground seemed to tremble. Daddy Possibility tried to escape. He was caught in the mountains by police and reporters. They found blood-stained garments, lists of missing girls, detailed purification records. The cult was disbanded, but its wounds never truly healed. That day, my father fell to his knees. He wept and begged for forgiveness, and I made a promise to be the voice for those who were silenced. This is not just our village's story. This is the story of what blind obedience can create, of how faith twisted by power can become a weapon, of the darkness hiding behind sacred masks. Because if we lose our humanity in our search for the holy, what we find will only ever be darkness.